we wanted to do something special for somebody who had been a very important member of our club, and that was Arnie Sorenson. I'm sure all of you know Arnie was the CEO of Marriott for a number of years. Arnie had started out his career at Latham & Watkins, a law firm that my firm uses a lot, and Latham ultimately lost him to Marriott, where he went in as a lawyer and then briefly rose up and became the CEO and was a spectacular CEO, as we all know. Arnie was involved with our club because he was on our board, but also he led our Global Initiative Task Force from 2017 to 2021, and I would say did a spectacular job. And what we wanted to do to honor Arnie, who passed away prematurely from pancreatic cancer, is to create the Arnie Sorenson Excellence in Leadership Awards, which will recognize outstanding achievements of leaders whose contributions to the economic club and the community deserve special recognition. And we've obviously named this after Arnie Sorenson, and we hadn't done anything quite like this before. But I knew Arnie for quite a long time. I'm always amazed that Arnie, even though he's running Marriott, one of the biggest companies in the United States, he always had time for the economic club. He always had time for other things I was involved with and in the Washington area. And Arnie was always cheerful, always had the best attitude. You always wonder how he could be running this big company, be so easygoing and nice. And usually, of course, all CEOs are nice, of course. But Arnie was the nicest person. So I would say friendly in his attitude, and you could be talking to him and you would know that he was the CEO of the biggest hotel company in the world, hospitality company. So it was a real loss to me. I knew him from the Brookings board as well, and where he was also an outstanding board member. And I really felt it was a good idea to do something to remember Arnie for quite some time. And so we've created these leadership awards, and I hope everybody will just think about Arnie for a minute. Some of you didn't get to know him, but he's the kind of business leader that we all hope all of us could be, which is to be an excellent leader in the company that he was running, well liked by everybody there, but also everybody in the community that he dealt with just had the greatest respect and admiration for him. And there are very few people quite like Arnie that I've ever met. So what we're going to do today is we're going to give out 3 awards, and I wanted to call up 3 people who are going to make these presentations. And I'd like them to come up now. One is Tony Pierce, who's the general counsel of the club and the partner at Aiken Gum. Carol Melton, who is the vice chair of the club and CEO and founder of Adef Capital. And Tim McBride, who's an officer of the club and president of ST Engineering North America. So, there they are. Okay. So why don't you come up, and each of you has a person you're going to give the award to. And why don't we start? Tony, are you going to be first?
I will be.
Okay. Get out of the way.
Thank you, David, and thank you, Mary, for making me do this. Let me first say, though, that I am beyond excited to present the Arnie M. Sorenson Excellence in Leadership Award to my good friend, where is she? Linda Rabbit. Linda founded Rand Construction Corporation in 1989, growing from 7 employees to the largest woman-founded, woman-owned commercial general contractor in the nation, with offices in 6 major cities across the U.S. Any of us who have been around this town for more than a minute know Linda, and we know that Linda defines leadership and is so deserving of this recognition. As David indicated, this award, aptly named after the late and great Arnie Sorenson, recognizes a member's positive contributions to the club and our community in service to the club's broader mission. We all know Linda's contributions to the club, whether it be recruiting members, helping guide the club as the longest-serving member of the board, and her $100,000 contribution launching a Scholars to Leaders Legacy Fund at the club, or just being an all-around positive influence on the club's operations. And you can read more about Linda's background in today's program. Her career accomplishments and list of awards is legendary and worth reading. But as we give this recognition, I want us to think about and focus on Linda the person. The Linda that is a force of nature in our community, The Linda that is a thriving business person who has grown a great business that many of us have had the pleasure of being clients of. The Linda that has been the source of wisdom, mentorship, and frankness to so many of us, even sometimes when we didn't know we needed it. And I want us to focus on the Linda, and this is one of the many signs of her leadership skills, the Linda who knows when to get advice and when to make her own decision. And last but certainly not least, I want you all to focus on Linda, the family matriarch, who has done all she has done in our community while raising 2 wonderful daughters with her equally wonderful husband. Now, a book I read years ago defined leadership as a process of social influence which maximizes the efforts of others towards achievement of a goal. Linda personifies that definition. And Linda, you have met that definition so many times in this community and within this club. I don't have enough time to list the instances where you have positively influenced some key decision the club has had to make. I also would not have time to list all the times you were asked to help our broader business community or an organization within it achieve a goal, and you succeeded. You are a master at maximizing the efforts of others. You have greatly influenced the trajectory of C-suite women, serving on boards with the founding of a leadership program at George Washington University called On the Board. And recently, you also funded a similar highly esteemed program at the Harvard Business School called Women on Boards. I've talked enough. So I ask you to come to the stage and accept this award. But I have some advice for you, advice I know you won't take, but I know you will consider. The advice is to slow down and spend some time with those grandkids.
Thanks, Tony, and congratulations, Linda. You two are a tough act to follow. But fortunately for me, I have the honor of bestowing the Arnie M. Sorenson Award to another extraordinary economic club business and community leader, Gina Adams. Where do I begin on Gina's many contributions? As the club's co-vice chair and chair of the Education Committee, Gina is a leader who exemplifies the value of service and education, the importance of mentoring, and a commitment to making a lasting impact on the world. Starting with her many years leading the Education Committee for the club, Gina has inspired other club members to join her in supporting efforts to transform our Rubenstein Scholars' trajectory through college into long-lasting, successful careers. Building on the David Rubenstein Scholarship Program, Gina has steadily created a pipeline of well-qualified and ambitious young scholars who will be our future innovators and leaders across industries for generations to come. Gina also launched a mentoring program to connect scholars with members and help facilitate access to high-level business leaders like yourselves. As a lifelong resident and a product of DC public schools and DC universities, Gina is an incredible role model for our Rubenstein scholars, showing each of them what is possible. As one of the scholars said recently, seeing someone in a position like Gina's inspires and motivates me to aim higher, to achieve more, and reminds me to never forget where I came from and to always give back to our community, since it gave so much to us. And there's more. Gina, of course, is also active and well-known in the nonprofit and business sectors. And again, I hope you'll take a moment to read her bio in today's program. In Gina's top-level role leading FedEx's government and regulatory affairs, Gina expertly shapes and promotes this Fortune 50 company's interests in the political and policy arenas. Her responsibilities over the years have ranged from ensuring Congress and administration officials understood the need to strengthen airline security following the tragedy of 9/11, to educating our legislators about the critical work to keep the supply chain moving during the height of the pandemic as the shipment of commerce exploded. And then most recently, you may have seen photos of Gina with the First Lady at Dulles Airport as FedEx Express delivered sorely needed baby formula from Germany for more than 1 million bottles. Over Gina's long career at FedEx, she has directed nearly $50 million in community and charitable investments in Washington, D.C., and across the country. For all of these and so many other contributions, Gina has been repeatedly lauded, from an honorary degree of laws at Trinity College to an American Association of Airport Executives annual Women in Aviation Scholarship given in her name, to Elle magazine calling her one of the 10 most compelling women in Washington. Gina, you certainly are that. You've built a legacy of uplifting others and prioritizing charitable endeavors in your personal and professional life, alongside tremendous achievement in the business world. For that, we salute, thank, and honor you today with this much-deserved award. Would you please now join me on the stage?
And I'm honored today to present an inaugural Arnie Sorenson Award for Excellence in Leadership to the A. James and Alice B. Clark Foundation for their substantial contributions to the D.C. community. In 1987, James Clark founded the Clark Foundation, supporting more than 580 local organizations over the past 25 years. Before his passing in 2015, Mr. Clark requested that the foundation sunset within a decade, maximizing its impact by using today's money to solve today's problems. With that new direction, the foundation both scaled up its operations and developed specific strategic areas of focus. Since then, the Clark Foundation has generously invested in more than 350 organizations and institutions across 3 strategic areas: educating engineers, improving the lives of veterans and their families, and providing members of the D.C. community the very best opportunities to thrive. By 2026, the Clark Foundation will have deployed over $1 billion in funding over this 10-year period, with over $324 million of those dollars being invested in the D.C. area alone. Additionally, Mr. Clark was a charter member of the Economic Club back in 1986. The foundation has continued to support the club through its investments in the David M. Rubenstein Economic Club of Washington, D.C. Scholarship Program. And since 2018, the foundation has committed more than $600,000 to that scholarship program, supporting 30 scholars throughout their college journey. Robert Flanagan, a trustee of the Clark Foundation, is accepting this award on behalf of the A. James and Alice B. Clark Foundation. Bob is also a longtime friend and member of the club and was personally involved in developing the early structure of the Economic Club, aiding in the organization's success. Bob, please join us on stage to receive the award.
There is one more recipient of the Arnie Sorenson Excellence Award, and that's a person who was his life partner, Ruth. Ruth Sorenson met Arnie in college. I guess it was love at first sight, and they had 4 wonderful children together, and they have 4 wonderful children. And Ruth has been tireless in helping Arnie battle the cancer that he had, and tireless in supporting him in so many other ways, and been a partner of his in his philanthropic and other community activities. And you know, I've gotten to know her over the years as well, and I just say she's a real treasure as well. And Arnie and she were an incredible couple. And Ruth, we're very pleased that you let us use Arnie's name for this award, and we're very honored that you are going to be here today. And I'd like to give you one of the initial awards as well. Thank you. So we're going to have some pictures here. You can begin your lunch, and I would just say that you know, we hope to do this, expect to do this every year, and thank you for your support. And I want to thank and congratulate all the honorees this time, and enjoy your lunch. And I'll be back shortly with a conversation with the CEO of Marriott. Thank you.